Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. My name is Uche Chukwuhiri. I am a production designer. I'm sitting here with my good friend. I'll let him introduce himself.
Nice to be here with you. My name is Tunde Lawal, and I'm an art director. I've worked with Uche on a couple of projects, and I'm sure you want to know what we have to talk about today.
From my experience, I'll say that a production designer is a person in charge of the vision, the look of all the spaces, everything that the camera sees is the responsibility of the production designer. So Tunde, I feel like it's best for you as an art director to talk about, who an art director is.
Yeah, so over time, especially in the Nigerian film industry, the art director has been made to function in various capacities, but to streamline it, the art director, simply put, is the professional who is in charge of maintaining and executing the creative exports of the production designer.
It's really critical what the art director does, because from experience we understand that the art director is in charge of managing, the personnel, the funds, the processes. The art director is responsible for drawing up deadlines and schedules within the art department, and obviously does this in league with the production designer. When the project is not so big, there isn't a need to introduce a production designer and an art director. I think it has to do with the scale of the project and the nature of the project.
Budget constraints might not allow you to function, in the full capacity that you are allowed to, which is why you see one person taking on multiple roles within the art department. And ideally, I do not believe it should function like that, but because you hardly have a producer come to talk to you and say, oh, look, I have billions of naira to execute this, let's go haywire with our designs and whatnot. So you find out that you are shackled a couple of times.
Ultimately, I believe that producers, and we as well, must understand the universal structure, the standard structure, and then we can now determine how best to walk around it in terms of flexibility and tailor fitting the team to the scale of the production.
I enjoy the creative process. The process of creating something out of nothing. That's seeing an empty space, and every other person sees an empty space, but you have the eye to see that place potentially for what it can become. This Itura as an example, when we came in here, anybody who was not in our line of work just sees pure vegetation. But we had the mindset, we had in our mind's eye to situate that, the palace can be here, the market can be here, and then we were able to figure out all of that.
The architect of that world is the production designer, but the production designer doesn't work in isolation. He or she has to function with the art director, who is the design manager, who is responsible for managing all the other sub-departments within the art department, which encompass, the props department, the wardrobe department, the makeup department, the special effects department, the set dressing department, and the hair department.
Generally, everything that encompasses art in the aspect of filmmaking.
Yeah, I think in the course of in order to design and create something that is in line with what the story requires, and how the director plans to take the story. The art director and the production designer must do their research. They must find out what happened, what was the practice.
Yeah, what was obtainable in that era.
In the case of a period piece, which is what we call epics, a period piece, we normally have to do extensive research on the culture, on the practices, on the historical events, and how that shaped, the course of nature and life in general.
Especially when you are doing an existing culture or a timepiece, you need to be careful not to have as much cultural accuracy as you can get, because people can you're swimming in testy waters. People can be really finicky in quotes about their cultural patterns, and it can be really quite touchy. So you have to be careful to be as culturally accurate as you can.